You know that feeling, right? Waking up just as tired as when you went to bed, even after like 8 hours. You blame stress, your mattress, maybe that afternoon coffee. But what if the real problem was hiding right there in your own mouth? Today, we're diving into the pretty surprising and honestly powerful connection between the way you breathe and how you sleep. So, just how big of a deal is this? Well, get this. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine says a whopping 85% of adults aren't getting the recommended 7+ hours of sleep. That's almost everyone. It means the vast majority of us are just walking around completely sleep deprived. And this isn't just about feeling a little groggy. The consequences are, well, pretty serious. Look, a chronic lack of good sleep is no joke. It messes with your ability to think clearly, it weakens your immune system, it can throw your emotions all over the place, and it even raises your risk for major health issues like heart disease and stroke. It's a problem that really affects your entire body and your mind. We try everything, don't we? We're all trying to get more sleep. But what if the issue isn't really about the number of hours you're in bed? What if it's all about how you're breathing while you're there? I mean, that one question just opens up a whole new way of looking at sleep. Okay, so what is the root cause here? Believe it or not, it has to do with a part of your body you probably never ever think about when it comes to sleep, your tongue. Turns out it has a secret and super critical job to do every single night. So your tongue actually has a correct resting position. You could call it a home. Try this right now. Run your tongue along the roof of your mouth. Do you feel that kind of bumpy spot right behind your front teeth? That is the spot. And that's exactly where your tongue should be resting, kind of gently suction to the roof of your mouth. When it's not there, that's when the problems start. See, when your tongue isn't in its proper home, it can lead to something called Orofacial Myofunctional Disorders, or OMDs for short. These are basically just abnormal muscle habits of your mouth and face. And they don't just affect how you breathe or swallow, they can actually change how your face develops and are directly tied to breathing problems during sleep. Okay, so here's the breakdown. When your tongue isn't in its spot, it usually drops down low, which encourages you to breathe through your mouth. This can cause the back of your tongue to fall back and literally block your airway, which means less oxygen. But nasal breathing, it does the exact opposite. It helps keep your tongue up, your airway open, and it supports that deep, restful sleep we're all after. So if bad muscle habits are the problem, what's the solution? Well, it turns out there's a type of physical therapy designed specifically for the muscles of your face and mouth. It's called Orofacial Myofunctional Therapy, or MFT. The goal is actually pretty simple, but it's really powerful. It's all about re-educating and retraining these muscles to do their job correctly. You know, the easiest way to think about it is this. It's like physical therapy for your face. You're taking your tongue and face to the gym to correct those bad habits. MT really focuses on nailing down what they call a perfect triad of 3 key habits. Number 1, breathing through your nose. Number 2, keeping that correct tongue posture. And number 3, keeping your lips sealed when you're resting. When you get those 3 things working together, you create the absolute ideal conditions for breathing right, especially when you sleep. This all sounds great in theory, right? But what does this workout for your face actually involve? Like, what do these exercises even look like? Okay, here's a classic one. It's called a tongue pop. You start by suctioning your entire tongue flat against the roof of your mouth. Then you try to smile without moving your jaw at all. And then you pop your tongue down, making a loud clicking sound. This is all about strengthening the exact muscles you need to hold your tongue up where it belongs. And yeah, some of the exercises can sound a little funny, which honestly just makes them easier to remember. The peanut butter scrape is exactly what you think it is. You just imagine you have sticky peanut butter all over the roof of your mouth, and you use the very tip of your tongue to scrape it all off, from front to back. It's a really targeted way to improve your tongue's control and strength. Of course, quirky exercises are one thing, but the really big question is, does any of this stuff actually work? Is there real scientific proof that retraining your tongue can actually make you sleep better? The answer is a pretty resounding yes. A major review of all the data, a meta-analysis, found that myofunctional therapy can cut the severity of sleep apnea by about 50% in adults. I mean, a 50% improvement from a therapy that's totally non-invasive, that's huge. And it's not just for sleep apnea. What about snoring? The noisy problem that drives so many partners crazy? Well, objective studies, the ones that actually measure the sound during sleep studies, show that MFT can lead to a 31% drop in the total amount of time people spend snoring. So what's the scientific bottom line? The evidence is pretty clear. MFT has a real positive effect on both sleep apnea and snoring, and it's considered super safe. Now, science is always moving forward, so while we know it works, researchers are still dialing in the absolute best exercise routines and figuring out how long the benefits last after you stop the therapy. So, we started this whole thing asking if the fix for a bad night's sleep was hiding in plain sight. And it seems like the answer might just be yes. The simple, conscious act of retraining your tongue could have these incredible effects not just on your sleep, but on your overall health. It's a pretty powerful idea, isn't it, that you hold the key to breathing better, sleeping better, and living a healthier life right at the tip of your tongue?